Alright.
Here is the ultimate Crusader tank build, you glorious bastards. With this setup your tank will receive so little damage it's gonna be hilarious. You won't be doing much damage, but that's why you have other party members to do it for you, while you are safe and sound surrounded by many enemies. This is the build. Crusader is a combination of Fighter and Paladin. For subclasses, definitely go Unbroken with Fighter, because it gives you +1 engagement and you gain shield mastery, providing bonus armor rating while wearing a shield. As a tank you need a shield. You also have increased penetration on disengagement attacks, so that means when enemy is trying to move away from you, when you strike them you're gonna have increased penetration. There is one more passive skill that's gonna complement this bonus very nicely, which I'm gonna cover later. Trust me, with this and that skill, disengaging from this tank is gonna be a painful endeavor. For Paladin subclass I went with Gold Pack Knights. It turns sworn enemy skill into Blessing of Gold, where Paladin receives bonus armor rating until struck enough times for the gold to break. There are a couple of good options for subclass Paladin. For example, the Shield Bearer of Saint Elzga, however you pronounce this shit, is also a good one because Lay on Hands prevents the target from being killed for a short time. The thing is, you won't be killed with this build, trust me, you won't even get near being killed. These are my stats. Constitution and Resolve being the primary ones. Really no explanation needed there. Look at all the nasty resolve bonuses that you get. That will increase your survivability, and this gives us a lot of health next to Fortitude. I put a couple of points into Might as well, mainly because of the healing. We are Paladin after all. I mean, part of it at least, anyway. So that healing that we do will be increased a bit. I also put a couple of points in Intellect because of the ability duration. There are a couple of active skills that rely on duration, so with this we're gonna have that little extra time. From active skills, go for Athletics to get the second wind, and as for the rest it's up to you. From weapon proficiencies, choose Spear because of the engaging thrust. It gives you also minus stride, but it gives you also +1 enemies engaged. And also choose Large Shield because of the wall. Minus 50% damage taken from ranged weapons, minus 50% damage taken from attacks versus reflex, blah blah blah, but you are immobilized. These are the abilities that I went with. Obviously there's a room for improvement and there's a room to play with other stuff as well, but trust me, with this whole setup you won't die, no matter what is in front of you. Combat focus. Definitely take this one because of the concentration at the start of each combat. Weapon in shield style, plus shield deflection. Shield deflection bonus also applies to reflex. Very nice. Core fighter abilities. These are the abilities that are automatically gained, so nothing here needs to be chosen in that ability tree. For fighter abilities I went with Knockdown. That gives us a bit of crowd control. Determination, second level fighter passive, plus 20 to all defenses against intellect, perception, constitution, affliction. Into the fray, this is a very nice ability because you can pull other bastards into your range so that they are forced to engage you. And when they want to run away, if they want to run away, you will have a nice disengagement attack on their arse. Mule Kick is an upgrade to Knockdown. It also disorients the enemy when you knock them down, which gives them -5 perception, so it means they're gonna have tougher time to hit you because of the accuracy penalty that comes from perception, plus 50% recovery time, so that means they will have more time in between actions, which they will spend on doing absolutely nothing because they can't do anything. And they will also receive flanked debuff. Unbending is an optional thing. If you want, take it. If not, you don't need it. Simply because you're gonna take so little damage per hit, even from tough enemies, that this healing done will not be that great. And this does not work with Sacred Immolation, because Sacred Immolation is raw damage. Armored Grace is a very nice passive. It gives you minus 25% armor recovery penalty. So while you're wearing heavy armor like plate armor, which has 55% recovery penalty, you're gonna have 30% now, which is something of a medium armor. That's amazing. Guardian Stance, plus 3 enemies engaged, minus 5% damage taken per engaged target. Self-explanatory, really. Overbearing Guard passive, plus 15 accuracy with disengagement attacks, plus 50% damage with disengagement attacks. Now this is the skill that I was telling you about. That is a very good combination with Unbroken's bonus that gives you increased penetration of disengagement attacks. That's why I said that it's a painful endeavor to move away from this tank. Refreshing Defense is an active ability that gives you plus 20 to all defenses, and it gives you concentration for this amount of seconds. The duration depends on your intellect mostly. Refreshing Defense is an upgrade from Vigorous Defense. It upgrades it in such a way that each time the fighter takes damage, the duration extends. So you're gonna be in this mode quite a lot. Unbreakable is a 7th level fighter passive that revives you if you fall. It gives you bonuses to defense and armor rating. Now for Paladin abilities. From the first level Paladin abilities I went with passives that gives us Retribution. When damaged we get plus 5% damage with weapons, takes up to 5 times, so up to 25%. Deep Fate plus this amount to all defense. Second level Paladin abilities, Divine Purpose. It's a second level Paladin passive that gives us plus 20 to all defenses against Resolve, Dexterity and Might Affliction. We already have plus 20 to all defenses against Intellect, Perception and Constitution. So with this passive we now have plus 20 to all types of afflictions. Inspired Defense, plus 2 armor rating for 3.5 seconds when damaged. Self-explanatory, it buffs our armor rating even further. From Zealous ability, the only one that you need is Zealous Endurance, that gives you plus 1 armor rating, nothing more. You don't even need to upgrade it. Now we have upgraded Sworn Rival. It gives us more armor rating, marks the target, and if the rival is defeated, the zeal cost is refunded. Plus you also get a damage bonus against the target until combat ends, or the target goes down. Greater Lay of Hands is a nice upgrade. It restores decent amount of health, it depends on your might attribute, and it also gives you Robust. I've chosen this one. There's also another one that gives you Courageous bonus, but in this case I like Robust. It gives you plus 5 Constitution, plus 2 armor rating, plus 10 health restored per 3 seconds. Inspired Path passive gives you plus 1 to Zeal, which is nice because somehow you're always short on these resources. Inspired Beacon is an upgrade from Glorious Beacon. Glorious Beacon blinds everyone around you. But Inspired Beacon next to that increases damage taken for everyone affected by this spell. That is huge number. When combined with Sacred Immolation, which you're coming to right now, this will do really good amount of damage. Now you see that Sacred Immolation gives you a raw damage. That is not good because this cannot be countered with anything. But I have a solution for that as well. I'll show you in a second. Stoic Steel is a 7th level Paladin passive. It gives you plus 1 armor per 6 seconds while standing still. We're gonna be standing still all the time. So there you go. Even more armor bonus rating. The thing that you need that counters raw damage taken is a ring called Void Ward. It gives you minus 35% raw damage taken. That is perfect for Sacred Immolation. Absolutely perfect. It gives you also plus 3 corrode armor rating. This ring can be obtained in Treasure Cove in Radiant Court on Island Dunaj. It's in Radiant Court over here. Wear heavy armor because of that nice passive fighter bonus that reduces recovery time for wearing heavy armor. As for the rest, just buff your defenses. Fortitude, Reflex, Will, and get some items that reduce incoming hits to grazes. Now for the demonstration part. Before the battle starts, turn on your modal abilities, Zealous Endurance and Guardian Stance. Now sometimes, I don't know why, engaging Trust plus the wall modal ability from the shield can't be activated simultaneously. So they can be only activated during the combat. I don't know why that is, if it's a bug or something, but you can activate both of them in the middle of a combat. When the fight starts, what you need to do immediately is throw down Inspired Beacon to blind enemies. When they're blinded, they're gonna have less chance to hit you. With the upgraded beacon, they will also receive plus 40% more damage. That's why we're gonna use Sacred Immolation immediately to deal that damage to them. Obviously, when you're in the group, your party members will be dealing with a lot of them, especially if they have some nice AoE skills. You can throw down AoE skills without worrying that you're gonna kill your tank. You won't. This tank will survive anything. You've seen me also use the Unbending skill. The thing is, Unbending skill later on is not that great. Maybe earlier in the game is good, but later on when you have such high defense rating, it's not that great. Simply you can't take that much damage, where Unbending would turn it into some nice heals. Next to that, I'm using also Refreshing Defense. This is a fantastic active ability that buffs our defenses even further, and you can see how much trouble they have hitting me. The wall helps me with all the sharpshooters that are trying to hit me. Unfortunately, the wall makes you immobile. I tried to use Into the Fray on that sharpshooter that is close to me, but I couldn't get to him, so I would need to turn off the wall and then move and so on. So I didn't want to do it. And that's all there is to it. You use Lay of Hands when you need a heal. You have Second Wind that will with high athletic skill heal you up to almost full health. Knock down targets that are especially difficult to handle. Also, don't forget to put Sworn Rival on the toughest bastard that you're fighting, that is engaged. And that's it. It's that simple. Just check out the minimum amount of damage that I'm receiving with each attack. It's absolutely ridiculous. Most of the time I won't be killing anyone because I can't do high damage, but I can at least damage them, put some debuffs, and help my teammates to kill them really, really fast. I hope you guys enjoyed the build. I know there are other versions that you can do, other multi-classes. Look, there are insane amount of variations of every single build. I'm just gonna focus on specific ones. So if I'm going to do a Paladin DPS build, then it's only Paladin, not multi-class, but only for Paladin if you want to play a single class character. This is a multi-class character, combination of Fighter and Paladin. I know, you can also create Paladin and Priest combination, you can create Paladin and Cypher, I know all of that. I'm just going one by one, testing and seeing what works best. So don't worry, there'll be plenty of other builds coming and plenty of other videos with lots of variety. So I hope you're gonna stay tuned and see you all bastards soon enough.